So, hello, I welcome you all in the subject engineering drawing. Today in this lecture 1, we will discuss some of interview questions in engineering drawing. Topics to be covered. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to learn basics of engineering drawing. It means we will learn some of lines. What are the different type of lines will be there to construct any drawing. Next one is the polygons, scales, projection of points, projection of lines. Basics of engineering drawing. So the first question, which line is used for visible outlines? That is continuous thick line. Which pencil we have to use? HB pencil. See here. Next one, which line is used for dimension line? That is continuous thin line. Which pencil we want to use here? H pencil. So next one, the dotted lines represents. So generally dotted lines, where we have to show the dotted lines, generally what we are not possible to see in the diagram. When I am seeing from the elevation, some of parts I can't possible to see what will be there in the backside of the elevation. So that we are not possible to see. So that is that we are representing with the hidden edges. See here, this is the representation. Next, hatching lines are drawn at degrees to reference line. How much, what is the angle of hatching lines? Where the hatching lines generally? So when the sectioning will be happen, then we can show the material with the hatching. So the angle will be 45 degrees. Next, the length width ratio in case of an arrowhead is, see here the arrowhead, this is the height of the arrowhead I am representing with the W. Here the length of the arrowhead I am representing with 3 into W. For example, I am taking W equal to 1. So this is 3 into 1, 3. So the ratio is 3:1. Generally, they will take the ratio is 3:1. If the diagram will be somewhat bigger, then we can go for the 6:2. These are the ratios they can generally prefer for any arrowhead. Next one, polygons. See, here there are a number of polygons will be there. That is pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nanogon, decagon, like this will be there. But here we will discuss some of polygons we will discuss. What's the question? The internal angle of regular pentagon is in terms of degrees. So this is internal angle or including angle is 108 degrees. What about excluding angle? That is 72 degrees. 72 plus 108, that is 180 degrees. See, the internal or included angle of a regular pentagon, generally for construction purpose, the angle is 108 degrees. Now the next one is, what is the internal angle of regular hexagon in terms of degrees? That is, the including angle is 120 degrees. You may ask, sir, what is the excluding angle? That is 60 degrees. Next one, scales. So what is the representative fraction? Just define it. So generally representative fraction is length of an object in the drawing divided by actual length of the object. See here, what is the length of the object in the drawing? So this is actual length of the object in the drawing. So but what is the actual length of the object? So generally when you are doing any construction, for example any pentagon you want to construct or you want to draw any line, but actually the length of the line is very bigger. But in the drawing chart sizes will be less. So what we will do? We will take some scale. That is the length of the object in the drawing divided by what is the original length of the object. So that is what we have to call representative fraction. For example, a line of 1 meter is shown by 1 centimeter on a scale. So its representative fraction is, see, 1 meter is shown by 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter is the length of the object in the drawing divided by what is the actual length? 1 meter. 1 divided by 1 meter. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeters. So 1 centimeter divided by 100 centimeter. That is the centimeter will be get cancelled. The ratio is 1 by 100. The next one is length of the scale is defined as, what is the length of the scale? How can we calculate? The length of the scale equal to the representative fraction into what is the maximum length? That will be given in the problem. Like this way, we can calculate the length of the scale of the particular problem. Now, we will discuss projection of points. For example, see here, what is the projection of point? Here nothing but you have to project a point onto the vertical plane, maybe onto the horizontal plane. Either you can project the point onto the coordinate axis also. No, so here not only vertical plane and horizontal plane, we can, so first of all we have to place the object here. if it is the problem will be belongs to the first coordinate, the object will be here. It means the point will be here. So if the point will be there in the second coordinate, then that time you have to place your point, you have to situate your point here. Or otherwise the problem belongs to third coordinate, you have to situate your point here. No, so if the point will be located in a fourth coordinate, then you have to put your point here in the fourth coordinate. See what is the question here. A point P is above the horizontal plane and in front of the vertical plane. So where the point is in? Obviously in first coordinate. See, it is mentioned here, this is the point above HP in front of VP. So the point belongs to first coordinate. No, so if the point will be above HP behind VP, so the particular question is, then the point belongs to second coordinate. So, but where the observer, always the observer will be there in the coordinate, first coordinate. Here always the observer only, here only the observer will be there. Next one, if the point is below horizontal plane, behind vertical plane, then the point is situated in the third coordinate. If the question will be, if the point is situated below the horizontal plane, in front of vertical plane, so the point belongs to the fourth coordinate. Like this, we can solve the problems. See, this is the horizontal plane. This is the horizontal plane is not constant. Always it will be moving in the clockwise direction. But here in the vertical plane, always the vertical plane will be vertical plane always in the vertical position only, but horizontal plane is not constant, because based on the principal planes of the projection, the horizontal plane is not constant. Always it is moving in the clockwise direction. But when it is moving, this is the horizontal plane, this is the first coordinate, this is second, third, and this is the fourth coordinate. If the horizontal plane is not constant, it is moving in clockwise direction, when it will be moved to the clockwise direction by 90 degrees. So vertical plane here, horizontal plane is here. So this is what you have to call it as first coordinate. But see here in the third coordinate, what will be happen? This is vertical plane, this is horizontal plane. So here the horizontal plane is not constant, it is moving in the clockwise direction. So this is vertical plane, always we will get elevation or front view. This is the horizontal plane, what we will get top view. See here, I think the difference will be very clear. In the first coordinate, always the vertical plane will be above the reference line xy. The horizontal plane will be below the reference line xy. So the elevation will be above the reference line xy. The plan or top view will be the below the reference line xy. But here, see in the third coordinate, when the object will be placed here, the elevation, when I am seeing the object, when the elevation here onto the vertical plane. So the top view or plan will be in the horizontal plane, but is not constant, it is moving in the clockwise direction. So in the third coordinate, above this is your vertical plane, here you will get front view. Above the front view, you will get a plan or top view. So that is the basic difference between the first coordinate and second coordinate. I think it is clear. Now we will discuss some of projection of lines. See, when the line is parallel to both the principal planes, see both the horizontal plane and vertical plane. Principal planes means nothing but horizontal plane and vertical plane. So we can get its true length in. Where we will get the true length? So if the line is parallel to both the horizontal plane and vertical plane, obviously the true length you will get in the front view as well as you will get in the top view. So when the line is parallel to VP and perpendicular to the HP, we can get its true length in where? Where you will get? One is here the line is parallel to VP and perpendicular to the HP. So the true length we will get, one is front view, another one is the side view. Side view is nothing but what is the type of plane here? Profile plane. So there we will get side view. So in the front view and side view only you will get the true length. And next one is what are the different methods is used to find the true length and true inclination of the line when its front view and top view are given. So there are three methods will be there. So this is generally belongs to the line inclined to both the planes. So it means inclination, true length, inclination, that and all will be given, and a line when its front view and top view are given. So then you can go for the rotational method or otherwise trapezoidal method or otherwise auxiliary plane method. Generally in the first year engineering drawing, generally we can go to the rotational method. The rotational method is very easy to understand. So this is the resource where I collected the particular questions for making the entire video. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.